What's going on, fam? It's your boy, the Tube King in the building, man, right here, man. Hey, this is Mardi Gras season in the birthplace of Mardi Gras, Mobile, Alabama. So if you're in town visiting, hey, make sure y'all have a good time and have fun with us. And of course, man, if you're from the city, y'all already know what time it is, man. It's Tuesday, man, on this beautiful Mardi Gras evening. But as I always say, I pray that you have had a great day from this point and that you continue to have a great day. If you have not had a great day at this point, I pray that from this moment forward, that your day does get exponentially better in a hurry because we all deserve to have a great day. So, man, I'm gonna hop right into this, man. I'm excited about this interview, and I'm gonna let the woman of the hour introduce herself to y'all. How you doing? Tell the
Hey,
people who you are.
I am good. Hey everyone, I am Briana Cole. I am an author, actress, screenwriter, producer, motivational speaker, all things creative, I guess, however you wanna say it, but that's me in a nutshell.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So it seems like you have like a lot of things going on with the art. So what got you
Yeah.
started in the art? Did you go to like a performing arts school or something you just picked up later? Like what got you into the arts?
Yeah, well, I have been writing for as long as I can remember, and that just came, I think, from my love of reading. I've been a reader far since I could pick up a book. I love to read, and I always saw myself like I don't know, just creating stories and worlds, and just really using my creativity. Being alongside some of these authors that I looked up to. Like Dr. Maya Angelou and Victoria Christopher Murray, Kimber Lawson Roby, Omar Tyree, Eric Jerome Dickey, like all of these amazing authors, and I was like, man, that would be awesome if I saw my work, on these bookshelves, right next to some of these authors. So that was pretty cool. So I started writing when I was like six, like 6 or 7.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like short stories, and I would draw horribly, but I would draw like the little pictures to go with the short stories. And then as I moved along into middle school, that's when I was bit by the acting bug. And it wasn't even my fault. It was my teacher. She, I guess, saw something in me. I don't know. But she was like, you should audition for this play that we're doing called The Trial of Goldilocks. And I was like, okay. So I auditioned and I got like one of the main roles. I was the prosecutor putting Goldilocks on trial for for breaking and entering, basically. So lots of fun there, and now I don't know, just love a good audience. So whether I'm acting or writing, I just love just to create worlds.
Awesome, awesome. Clarissa said, "I love your
Thank you,
energy." Yeah,
Carissa.
it's
Thank you.
definitely infectious. You know,
Thank you.
I'm over here hype. You know, so when did you publish your first book?
I published my first. Okay, so I it took me a moment to kind of get my bearings and kind of see like I knew I wanted to write, but I wasn't sure like what I wanted to write. And then you have to remember back in the day, if I'm telling my age, back in the day, you tell somebody you want to grow up to be a writer, they like that's cute, but what's your real job? So I
Right.
was like, well, so I went out to Georgia Southern University and I actually majored in writing, but I was very very happy with that major because it allowed me to kind of dibble and dabble in different types of writing, like
Right.
journalism, creative writing, technical and professional writing. It kind of allowed me to get kind of get that experience and education in that. So then I didn't publish my first book until about 2000 and I want to say it was 2015, 2014, 2015 is when I
Okay.
published my first book. And I graduated college in 2009. So you see, there was a little gap there where I just kind of was writing just for me, because I was a mother. I didn't really know, like that it was even a career for me. I just knew I loved
Right.
it. And then when I got picked up by an independent publisher and published my first book, I was like, you know what? I could really make some money from this. I'm not mad at it. It's okay.
Right. So to get to the meat of everything,
Uh-huh.
and this has just been blowing up all over social media, all everywhere. The marriage pass. Where did the mindset from that book come from?
My goodness. Okay. So, if anybody is familiar with my creative journey, my books, you'll kind of see a trend with me. I love thrillers, definitely. All of my books, all of my stories have a little bit of a thrill element in it. But the thing that is consistent with me is I like to broach unconventional stuff,
Okay.
taboo topics that, maybe you don't see very much of or publicly, or shedding a light on certain things. Because, like, for example, that first book that I published, it was about a woman who was paid to bait men and tempt them and see if they'll cheat with her. She ran a business like that. And then
Wow.
I've written about, my series that I wrote was about a poly relationship with a man and his three wives, and the scandal and all of the thrilling
Ooh.
elements and all that. You know what I'm saying? So you see, that's a constant thread with me. So here we are. This was back in 2016, actually. I had just published two books at the time. And I wasn't sure, I hadn't gotten picked up yet for another book deal. So I was like, well, let me try to self publish and kind of see what I can do. So in December of 2016, I published a book called The Night Before Christmas. It
Okay.
was another less, so it was about half the size of a full-length novel, and that's exactly what it was about. It was about a couple who exchanged a hall pass, if you will, for Christmas. That was their Christmas gift to each other, and he used it with his sister-in-law and all of that stuff, that we're familiar with. So that was in 2016. Well, when I got picked up from my main publisher, from a traditional publisher, thanks to my wonderful literary agent at the time, we pitched them that story as part of a book deal. It was like, hey, we got a really good story here. It was self-published, but if you want it, we can expand it, add some more thrill and twist, and really juicify it up if you wanted it. And they, looked it over and they was like, yeah, we want it. So I expanded it. It called it the Marriage Pass. I changed the character names. I changed the Christmas element because it was too narrow. So we broadened it
Right.
by making it an anniversary instead. And the Marriage Pass was born. That book was published in February of 2021. And then when I kind of transitioned on to the movies and film space, that same agent was like, girl, this is going to make a bomb movie. And I was like, you think so? And I wrote the script for it, and we sold it, and you see it took off.
Before we hop into the movie,
Mhm.
like, when did that come to pass to where they we, y'all knew it was gonna be an excellent movie or
Yeah.
whatever? So when did it come like a reality? Like, oh, like this is gonna be a movie, and then to the part to where Tubi was like, hey,
Let's
we
have it.
need this on our platform.
Well, I finished right. So, um, that book was already a bestseller. Thanks to I had an amazing PR team over at my publisher, and then I hired an outside PR team as well to kind of help with the traction. That book was everywhere. That book was in Pop Sugar, Shade Room, Sophisticate's Hair magazine. Like, it was all
Wow.
over blogs, influencers. It was trending when it released, which I was
Wow.
happy about. So we kind of already saw that, hey, this is something that people kind of like they kind of was feeling this story, right? And Clarissa, yeah, yeah. And I think that was the main thing with the sister, that sister bit, that's what got everybody for sure. And so I wrote, so that was in 2021 when it was published, and it was doing really well. So I want to say it was about in 2022, my literary agent was the one that said, she had kind of moved on into the film space, and she was the one that said, hey, do you want to try your hand at, writing the script for this? And by then I had a little bit of experience, writing scripts. I kind of started teaching myself and learning the business. And, I kind of started seeing that, hey, moving into being a screenwriter, I have all this great content with these books that I've published. This is a good springboard to use this content and adapt them to film. So that was the first one that we decided. And it was like, hey, we should do the Marriage Pass first. So I finished writing that script in, I want to say it was November 2022, or maybe it was December 2022, right in there. And then we had another producer in mind, but things kind of happened, things kind of fell through with that. And so we went to a different producer. I had already established a rapport with this producer, just with networking and things like that. So we pitched that to them, and they picked it up quick. And when
Right.
they pitched it to Tubi, it was like all over it. I mean, when I say quick, the ink wasn't even dry on the contract before they were already filming in Canada. And I'm not even joking. Like, it was
Wow.
crazy. So it sold to them in August. I want to know the end of July or August of 2023. And like I said, we were still doing the paperwork. I was doing rewrites and all that stuff, but they was already casting. They was already like getting the location secured, all this stuff up in Canada because they knew we were going to film up there. And
Okay.
so I think that's kind of when it became real. When I like put my ink on that contract back at the end of July, beginning of August last year, I was like, this is like for real. And then when they started sending me pictures from set, because it was so fast, I didn't get
Wow.
a chance to fly up to set. I wanted to, but I didn't. And when they were sending me pictures and kind of the cast was telling me, well, this is what we're working on, and this, some behind the scenes, I was like, this is really happening. I cannot
Right.
believe this. So
Right.
it was insane. It was insane.
So without before we dive into the movie and without giving too much,
Hmm.
like is there like a, how can I put it? What would be what did you have to tweak, or did you have to tweak anything from the book to writing the script for the movie?
Oh yeah, 100%. But what I love about adapting my own work is that I have that creative liberty. Some
Right.
what I've learned as like I said, I've been teaching myself screenwriting, going to master classes, workshops, and just kind of getting all this knowledge and experience from all these other amazing screenwriters in the industry, and kind of seeing what works, what doesn't work. And like with any book to film adaptation, you'll notice that oftentimes, very rarely does things like never change, but oftentimes you'll see changes. And so I already knew that when I sat down to write this project, because I was like, well, some things will film better, on in
Mhm.
visually more appealing compared to my literary audience, where I can take so many pages describing and setting the tone. Well, a picture really is worth 1,000 words. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then really
Right.
just kind of what I can achieve in 2.5 seconds on film, it may take me 3 pages to do. So I already knew you're talking about having to cut down 80,000 words, like a 400-page book, to like 90 pages, and in
Hmm.
screenplay format. So I already knew stuff was going to have to get cut, and I was going to have to get to the essence of the story and build on that. So you will see, and anybody who's watched the movie and read the book, you definitely will see some differences, because I think I personally, I love my book, but I've also grown as a writer since then too. You have to remember that was years ago. So
Right.
I really took my liberty to kind of flex my writing muscles and how much I've grown since then, and really taken it up, I think, to the next level. So you will absolutely see things in the movie that's not in the book, and vice versa. So
Right.
I always ask, like, which one do you think is better? Because personally, I don't know. I love my book, but that movie, ooh, woo, that movie took it to the next level to me.
When I first, okay, the Marriage Pass, my first mind went to, because like I love movies. My
Uh
first
huh.
mind went to the Hall Pass.
Yes, the, the,
That's
the, the comedy movie,
the
right?
comedy, yeah, the comedy.
Yes,
So I went to the Hall.
yes.
I said, okay,
Good
but
movie. Love that movie.
just from the cover, I'm like, okay, this ain't finna be no comedy. This ain't finna
Uh-uh.
be
This
nothing, nothing that's
uh-uh.
gonna be happy go lucky. Saying at the, at the end. So I was like, okay, so explain or go into detail about who the characters are right here in the movie.
Okay, so you have my main character is Dorian, Dr. Dorian Graham. He's a cosmetic surgeon, right? And he and his wife, there you see, Shantae, they've been married for a year. It's been a rocky year, though. It's been a rocky year, but they've been
Right.
together forever, more like 13 years. But they went ahead and got married, and now they're coming up on their 1 year anniversary. And like I said, it's just been so rocky for them for this past year, and both of them are trying to get that spark back, trying to see different things. But it's clear, and you can tell within the first few minutes, I mean literally the first scene, when you see them interact, they're not happy. They're
At
not
all.
happy. They've somewhere along the way, they've been together, like I said, for a long time, but they actually just got married about a year prior, and somewhere along the way they've lost touch with each other. They've really just kind of gotten out of touch, and it's very detrimental to their relationship, and it's obvious. So yeah, that's that.
Okay, got a question for you.
Okay.
How does she keep their writing skills sharp enough to avoid writer's block?
Well, that's a good question. And listen, I'm one of those ones that say writer's block is very real. I've heard people say that they don't believe in it and this, that, and the other. I, for one, feel that it is very real. I've experienced it. And what I have to do as far as with my writing skills, sometimes I have to just change tactics as far as getting into something new. Sometimes when I feel that I'm blocked, I can't, it's not flowing like I want, it's sounding forced, it's not really working. Sometimes I may have to just change to a different project. It may have to just be just some journaling or writing for me, or just something completely separate than what I'm working on. And I find that that helps. I also find that it helps. You may not have even heard this, or maybe you have, but I definitely will let you know. I write out of order sometimes. I have to. If I'm writing a book, or even if it's the movie, if I'm stuck on a scene and it's like, oh, this is not doing what I needed to do, well, I'll maybe go forward to another scene where I know it's going to do what I needed to do. And that happens a lot in my books, because like I, for one, I don't write as many sex scenes as I used to, back in the day. I came from being an erotica author. So the sex scenes were in abundance. But now they're in, as needed, but not as much as before. But
Right.
see, to me, I I feel like when I write sex scenes, they may be a little weak. So I save those for last. So if I come up on a sex scene, I'm like, they have sex. Moving on. And I will come back to it later. Because I can't, like not right now. So that works for me. Sometimes having to just separate myself from that project altogether and move on to another writing project or something different completely. Like taking a walk, or for me going out to eat or reading or something else to kind of get past that little block. And like I said, or maybe if I'm up against a deadline and I know I gotta plow through this, I may have to skip certain scenes and skip around, so because other scenes may flow a little bit better for me. Then when I come back, now I can come back with a renewed kind of sense of vision, and it flows a little bit easier for me. So things like
Okay,
that work. Hmm.
got you. We got another question for you,
Yeah.
but I wanted to touch on what you were talking about earlier about Dorian and his wife Shantae.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you said, it was just off balance. Like even when he was in the pool and she came out
You could
and he was
tell.
forgetting everything.
Yeah.
So what's going on right here at this part right here?
Okay. All right. So the infamous marriage pass. So what happened was this. Dor- Dorian went out, and again, like we were just talking about, their strange, their estranged marriage. There is very tense, very rocky for them, and you get that even from the first few minutes. Like her first line to him, he's in the pool, and she comes home, and she's like, "I called you 4 times." Like it's already like we already starting.
Right.
So that's the weekend of their anniversary weekend. He's made plans to go out to his homeboy's bachelor party at the strip club or whatever. And they both have to work like the next day. And she even says in that first scene, like, keep me a low priority like you've been doing, whatever. So again, we pick up on that tension. So when she goes to work, she gets the idea from her friend about, have you tried spicing things up? Have you tried giving them a marriage pass? And kind of her friend Jackie is the one that kind of puts the idea in her head. So what you just saw was that anniversary night. She told him, she called him on the phone and was like, "Hey, come straight home from work. I got a surprise." She had fixed him this. She's a very very good chef, very good cook. She had made him dinner. They're eating wine. She's dressed all nice and sexy.
Right.
And he's like, "Okay, we finna get some. We finna do this." And she kind of slides that little paper over to him and was like, "You ready for your gift?" Boom. And he's like, "Wait, what?" So it's like already, it's turning on its axis. And it's like, wow, what is this? And what's gonna happen from here? Is he gonna take it? Like what's going on?
And right after, but even before that, as she was
Hmm.
in a saying a scene or two before that, I definitely want to talk about this young lady right here because boy, she
Baby.
was. So who is this right here?
This is Miss Reagan Reynolds. Oh my gosh. Miss Reagan is Shantae's little sister. Shantae's little sister. Okay. And as you already see from the face, Reagan does not come to play. Reagan gets what she wants. And if you already are picking up on it, that was the intention. Reagan is trouble with a capital T. It is so.
Man, all capital letters, not just
Okay. When she first, so the thing is, and you'll see within that second scene, he actually runs into Reagan at the strip club. She's out
Mhm.
celebrating with her homegirls, so they kind of run into each other. But that is far from the last time they're going to run into each other. So
Right,
yeah, Miss Reagan, she's in town. And Shantae will tell you when she's in town, things ain't really good when she's in town. You don't know what to expect, but everybody knows it's trouble. It's trouble.
right. And even that without telling too much, Dorian and Reagan kind of have like these awkward, in close, like
Mhm.
what I'm saying,
Mhm.
interactions with
Yeah.
one another, which is like he'll look uncomfortable a little bit, and then it's like you'll see like he has like a curiosity,
Yeah,
what I'm
because
saying,
she
of himself.
she from okay, so Reagan, you get that even from the first second she walks onto the scene. She's very flirtatious. She's
Very.
very forthcoming. She's very like, and she has no problem. She flirts with everybody. Like it's like she doesn't care. That's just her. And I don't know if anybody knows people like that. I know I do. It's just like you just like ooze sex. And I think I even put that in the script. I was like, she needs to ooze sex. Like it needs to be coming from her pores almost. And this actress sold
They
it
got
because
that right.
I was even questioning myself. I was like, "Ooh, goodness, ooh, goodness." I never thought I was bothered, baby. So I'm so glad she brought it. She was amazing. So yeah, they have plenty of it just seems like some opportunities, as you say, where they are together in a coincidental or in a platonic environment, but just the way she is, it does make Dorian uncomfortable. And the thing is, like, that is his sister-in-law. That is his wife's sister. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it's kind of like, what do you do? He's I'm between a rock and a hard place because you gotta admit she is fine now. You know what
Right,
I'm
right.
saying? So I don't know. You would be, so what I don't know. It's crazy. And yeah, even in the script and how the actors did it, definitely in the movie, we were very strategic about placing them together. So you know what
Right,
I'm saying, to kind of really stroke that fire, if you will. It kind
right,
of
right.
fan them flames.
And like you were saying, like she would flirt with
Yeah,
anybody to the
she
point to where, boom,
yeah.
she's with one of Dorian's good friends.
She is. Yeah. So remember, they were all out at the bachelor party together, and yeah, she flirted with him too. Like and it was like, hey, what do we do? So yeah, she did and did started dating his friend.
So in the what I'm saying, in the midst of all that, like I said, I want people to watch this great
It's
movie, right?
crazy. Thank you.
So in the midst, what I'm saying, of all of this going on, some critical things transpire to where Dorian's wife, Shantae, she wanted some things to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Secretly, Dorian really didn't want it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere, somehow, somebody catches a stray where it does happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
when
and
we
that yeah, and that was and that was part of the dynamic between them. You know what I mean? That just shows how far apart they've grown. And like being with somebody for as long as they've been together, you would think, okay, well, y'all been together for like 13 years. When you finally get married, should be like smooth sailing. You've been together for a long
right,
time already. But it'll play out, as you say, in the movie where it's just they just kind of have opposite ideas of what they want out of each other and out of themselves. And then, yeah, is that's what makes this marriage pass, if you will, even more deadly, or even more like a big old Pandora's box, because it's a lot of other things that happen, like a domino effect, as a result of that one little slide paper across the deck. Like that was
Mm-mm.
it was it. After that, it was like all downhill from there. So yeah, yeah.
Because when I was watching it, and when she passed that to him, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking, and this is not to sound racist or stereotypical, whatever the case may be. I'm thinking it from a black person's standpoint, and I'm like, a black woman just ain't gonna willingly hand you a marriage pass and tell you to be with whoever you want to be, and it not be some
Something,
kind of underlying, some kind
yeah.
of backdoor cut, and I'm like, and she was
And
just too calm.
just calm with it, right? And that's what, I posted this clip, and that clip that you showed at the beginning with the marriage pass, and she was like, it's not cheating if you have, when she first offered it to him. I posted
Right.
that clip last week on TikTok, and since then it went viral. It's gotten over 1.1 million views. It's like been
Wow.
shared across like bananas, because that's what everybody is saying. It said like, who does this? You know what I'm saying? Who just like offers up this kind of pass, and it kind of all willy nilly. And the comments are saying she already cheated. That's what it is. She already cheated, and she feel guilty, and so everybody
Uh-huh.
has their own idea of kind of what else it could be, what's going on, or anything like what's kind of coming with the movie. So it's just very interesting to listen to the different views on, because, and that's one thing about my stories, this and all of my books, I want them to be conversation starters. I want that to be, you have that dialogue about, no, wait a minute. And I hear that if you watch it together, like as a couple, you got the man feeling one way, maybe, and the woman feeling another way, depending. And so I'm like, listen, I ain't responsible for no broken
I
homes,
know that's
no
right.
arguments, ain't got nothing to do with me. And so, but again, it's just good to share, to have those conversations, and to really have that discussion, because that's kind of what my story. That's what I enjoy about writing my story. So this is definitely one of those. You can see it for sure.
Right, because I'm thinking in my mind, like, I'm not getting nowhere alone with Miss Reagan. Nowhere, you know what I'm saying,
Same.
alone. I'm
Listen.
staying far, 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 you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, away, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying, away
And
from
she
her.
bold. She bold. You'll
Super
watch the movie.
Bowl.
They have a little. There's a little something that go on in the parents' house. Like she
And that,
bold.
and I'm
She
like,
bold.
and even we'll touch on that a little bit.
Okay.
Even in that scene, it's like, I'm like, she gotta know something. She gotta know
Yeah.
something.
What is
Like
going
it was
on?
just
Yeah. Like what is
something,
going on? Yeah. Yeah.
because if it would have been me, and I would have saw my brother-in-law in there with, say, my wife, and they in the bathroom, and she up on the, yeah, I'm like, no, I like,
Which
no, fam, like what y'all
what's
doing in
happening
here?
up in here?
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Well, no, he just, no, what's going on? You know, so that's gonna be my reaction
But
when
see,
she
then, but see, that's another thing too. Okay, that's another thing that, as far as it sparks that discussion, and I've had people, I've been on other interviews and just been in some of these groups where we're talking about this, and it's like that sparks the other discussion about, okay, well, trust, and it's like, well, what, you don't trust me? Like, you don't want, like, now we're talking about the trust. You don't think so?
I don't want to hear
He said,
it.
nah, nah, nah.
I was born at night, but not last night.
Ah, that is funny. Well, yeah, it's the thing is, like I said, it's entertaining. It's a roller coaster, and it's a lot that is packed into an hour and a half. Let's say
Right,
that for
right.
sure.
So we got some more questions, but I want to ask you this
Yeah.
last question about the movie.
Okay.
Will, or is it a possibility of it being the Marriage Pass, the sequel, part two, the Marriage Pass, it ain't over, or like is there a possibility?
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's impossible. I'm not. The thing is, and this is coming from me. I have watched so many sequels that it's just like a money grab. It's like, you know what? Y'all could have kept this in the can. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I told myself, I'm not saying never. I'm not saying it won't. It's they're leaving it up to me. If I come to them with an idea, yeah, they're already like, for sure. We saw how well it's doing.
Awesome.
So they've already opened that door. It's on me. And I
Awesome.
told myself that I was only going to broach a marriage past two only if I could live up to those same expectations of one. If, like, you know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
Very rarely do you have a good sequel that kind of just mwah, just as good as one, if not better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like for me, like the Best Man and Best Man Holiday, like you know what I'm saying? Like we're trying to
Yes.
like have that lightning strike twice. And I set the bar very high with this. I don't want to disappoint disappoint viewers by just putting one out there and it's like, oh Brie, you just like, what is this? So I'm being very, very careful. I'm not gonna say
Right.
no. I'm gonna
Okay.
say if something comes to me, as far as I've been playing with some ideas, I have. So if
Okay.
something sticks with me and it's like, you know when you know. And if I know, then I will absolutely do a marriage pass too. And
Okay. Awesome.
I won't leave you waiting 10, 15 years for it either. So
Awesome.
it's still
Awesome.
on the table.
Okay then. Hey, well, if you need the tuba cane, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying, to make a cameo
listen,
in there. Hey,
we'll
hey,
see what we need to do.
I'm willing and ready.
Yeah, I got you. I got you for sure.
Okay, we got a question for the 2020 podcast
Okay.
LLC. Please say the LLC. Also, what was the best investment you've made this far?
The best investment that I have made thus far. I think it probably had to be because of you know how it is being a creative. You make a lot of investments, boy. You got to pour a lot into yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. When I got my outside PR firm that helped my book go to bestseller was pretty amazing. That was great. I also spent a great deal of money producing my own film before Marriage Pass came to be. I have another Tubi film. It was not a Tubi original because I paid for it out of pocket, but it's called Pseudo. It's actually on Tubi as well.
Okay.
Of course, lower budget than Marriage Pass because that one was, had a higher budget because they produced that. But that was a pretty good investment because that was a good calling card to that I was able to kind of shop around when I was networking with other industry professionals and stuff. And things like that helped me become a speaker at 2023 Essence Fest. And
Oh wow.
it really was a good way to kind of I guess start the conversation like, hey, I know what I'm doing. What I'm saying, I have a produced movie and this, that, and the other. And like I said, that one was picked up and distributed to be by Damon Dash. So,
Oh
so that was
wow.
pretty, yeah. So that was again, that was a pretty good investment as well. But I would say too, not even just monetary investment. This is a good question. I've never gotten that one. Not even just monetary investment. I think more than anything, my time on social media has been a good investment. I know I said one day I was going to get a social media manager and all that stuff because you really gotta, put yourself out there and be where your audience is. You got to,
Right.
you really have to. And when several of my posts started going viral, like on TikTok, I wasn't even a TikToker. Like I didn't, my kids do that. I kind of was like, we have Facebook and Instagram. I barely use Twitter and I got to do TikTok. But the more I started using it, the more I kind of got used to it and started seeing what was trending and following my audience and kind of networking and connecting and seeing what was working. And then so that time was a great investment because when my stuff started to go viral, that's when I started seeing spikes in my book sales, and just it just really opened my exposure, which helped as well, so the time on spent kind of doing social media stuff was a great investment for sure.
Awesome. 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 Well, I want to get you out of here on these two last questions.
Okay,
The the,
listen, we
the
can stay
first
all
one
night
was
with the two became you take this all night, bro. Go ahead.
the first one will be like, what else do you have coming up? Whether it's a book, movie, what else does Mrs. Cole have on the horizon?
You were so funny. I actually just, like, literally maybe an hour ago, just posted the poster to my next movie that is also a To Be original called Played and Betrayed. That is coming. That will be coming out. I don't want to put is within the next week. I know that it should
Oh
be coming out
wow.
within the next week. It's soon because it was filming at the same time Marriage Pass was filming. So Marriage Pass was filming in Canada at the same time Played and Betrayed was filming in London. So that was pretty awesome.
Wow.
So that will be they just gave me the poster, so I just posted it. And I'll have the trailer and all that good stuff coming as soon as I get it, as soon as I see it. So within the next week or so, that should be hitting to be as another to be original. I'm also in the works of writing this same producer two more scripts that will be filming probably this summer, if not before. At the same time, I'm shopping around my own stuff. Like I've kind of put books on the I guess the back burner for just a little bit. As much as I love books, I
Right.
find that like I've got 10 books published, and then so I did really well with that, and I love my books. But I've kind of moved on into the film and television space, and it's working for me right now. And so I'm shopping around my own stuff. Like I've already adapted two more of my books into scripts. So we're shopping that around. I have two Christmas scripts that we're shopping around. I have a game show
Okay.
that I'm shopping around. Like
Oh wow.
I am not playing. And I was a staff writer on season 2 of Lace from All Black. So that's out there. And again, I'm using all of this to continue to network and build and just really get my name out there because when I say I'm trying to be on that Oscar stage, getting my screenwriting Oscar or my NAACP Image Award for best screenwriting. Listen,
Right.
I'm so serious. So I'm really trying to just go hard and fast. And I love it. I love it. This helps because I'm so passionate about it. And I'm happy that my passion shines through in my work.
Well, it definitely seems like you're
Thank
on your
you.
way. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all have not seen the Marriage Pass, make sure that y'all go and check. I'm telling you, y'all not gonna see the ending coming.
It's
I can
wild.
guarantee, you know what I'm
It's
saying, you know,
wild.
and it
And
even
stay to the
leaves,
end credit scene.
yes,
Stay to the end credit scene.
because
It's
it
wild.
definitely leaves. It's a reason why I asked will there be a part two. It's you know what I'm saying. It's definitely a reason. And also be looking out for Played and Betrayed that will be on Tubi. So the last question I'm gonna get you, Will,
Okay.
and I asked this, and I'm gonna see if you're gonna stay in the same vein of what
Uh-oh.
other people have asked, because I've asked other actors, writers, directors that I've
Yeah.
had on Tubi Tuesday. So with the Marriage Pass,
Mm-hmm.
that's your baby that you carried, that you birthed, that you
Mm-hmm.
seen grow into a full grown successful man, right?
Yeah, right.
If Tyler Perry said, you know what, Miss Cole, I love that movie, The Marriage Pass. It's some things that I would do differently with it, and I'm going to take it to BET. So I'm willing to give you $5 million for exclusive rights, creative control, all to your movie, The Marriage Pass, and it will be like basically you never wrote it, you never thought of it, it was never an idea in your head. But once I give you this $5 million, that's what you're agreeing to. What are you doing?
$5 million.
5 million. TT,
But
like, hey, here you go.
yeah, you are dangling that carrot, ain't you? Oh my gosh, that is tough. That is tough. And it'll be like, I never wrote it. It'll be like, I won't get credit for it or nothing.
Cease and desist.
Ooh. I, I probably, oh no, I may have to take that. I may have to take it. And you know why I may have to take it?
Go ahead, go
Because
ahead.
there's more where that came from. Like I have so many. That is just one of many ideas that I have. And as well received as that is, one thing about me, it's like there's more where that came from. So I would only be willing to not take it if I felt I couldn't do as good as or better than that. So I
Okay.
feel like I could do, and again too, like I said, you saw from the movie and then from the book what just a few years growth was, because to me, the
Right.
movie stepped it up from the book. So if I feel like I'm there now, 2024, imagine where I'm going to be in another 2 years, 3 years. Like
Okay.
I'm only going to, and you did say 5 million. I'm not going to even
Five
pretend like that's
million.
chump change. Now, I mean, I'm like, come on, you know what I can do with 5 million? I can go around and make a few more movies. Do you hear me? And it's only gonna get better and better and better. So I may have to be like, honey, where do I sign? Get Mr. Perry on the phone, cause
All right, so you don't know me, but you're about to know me now. When you
okay,
said it like that, I gotta spice it up one more again.
spice it up. Okay,
You accept the 5 million. You happy? Oh, I'm
okay.
gonna work on this and this and
This,
that.
this, this, and this.
Next thing you know, you turn on the awards.
And he
Tyler
getting an
Perry has won an
award for
Oscar for it, and
my
he's won an NAACP award for it. Now, how would you feel for
movie.
your movie?
For
It's
my
his,
movie. Well, it's
but
his now, right?
it was yours. But so how would that make you feel?
Yeah, I would feel, you know what? I would feel, I'm not gonna lie, I would feel some kind of, because I would feel some kind of way. I would. I would, but that probably would motivate me just to go even harder. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
It's things like that. Because I say that because the marriage you already mentioned, like Hall Pass. The marriage pass is not a new concept. You know what I'm saying? I never
right,
claimed it was, never claimed that that was me and that's all me. And never at all. That's not a new concept. And even my other books, like about the woman in the poly relationship, these are not new concepts. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But the thing about me is that I have a signature. You know what I'm saying? I have a signature, and it's very proprietary to me. So anything that I come out with, you gonna know about Briana Cole. You gonna know that's a Briana Cole signature there. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I would feel that would light up, that would put a battery in my back. It would. And they're like, oh man, you got to be kidding me. While I'm sitting in my $3 million mansion. But I would be like, but you know what? I'm gonna take it to the next level, because if I can do it once, because I'm still say I did it. If I can do it once, I can do it again. I hear you,
Right.
Tyler, but I'm coming for you. So yeah,
Okay. Micheline said this is really inspirational. I'm
thank
glad to
you.
be here. It definitely
So
was.
glad. Thank
You
you.
definitely exude energy, and I've definitely learned something. And now I've gotten some passion behind the thing. We'll talk a little bit after we,
We
say
can
get up
talk
you off the street a little
offline.
bit. But
Yeah.
thank y'all so much for tuning in to Tubi Tuesday once again. Shout out to Miss Briana Cole and her book, her movie, her future. Be on the lookout. Well, first off, watch the Marriage Pass.
Yes.
And then be on the lookout if for the next week or so for Played and Betray. And also, man, where can they find your book at?
I am all over. When I say all over, I've done so good with my SEO optimization. I'm very, very proud of that. So when you Google Briana Cole, I'm the first one that comes up. So me, my books, it's all there. So my books are available on my website, brianacole.com. I'm sorry, brianacole.com. And then also all of my social media handles as well. Briana Cole Official. Like I said, I am everywhere. And my books are available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart, Target, everywhere books are sold. But like I said, if you Google brianacole.com, you'll see my website, you'll see all my stuff, and you'll be able to access me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So once again, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to sit down with the Tubi Kane.
My
Thank you so
pleasure.
much. Ready to see some more of your movies and
Thank
to
you.
see some more of your books out there. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank
And as
you.
always, this is brought to you courtesy of the 2020 Podcast LLC. Please say the LLC. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. This is sponsored to you by Black Renaissance Clothing Brand. Make sure you go to the website www.shopblackrenaissance.com and be on the lookout for all the new gear that they just dropped. Remember, it's Mardi Gras time here in Mobile. So if you don't have your Mardi Gras hoodie, your Mardi Gras sweatshirt, man, make sure you go to the website www.shopblackrenaissance.com. Also, y'all already know what time it is, man. Y'all need somebody to go to party after the parade. Make sure you go to 105 North Jackson Street, aka Canary Bar, for great drinks, great vibes, great atmosphere, and great music, man. So make sure you go down to 105 North Jackson Street, aka Canary Bar, man, for some dope vibes, man. If you're in the market to buy a home, sell a home, buy land, trade land, whatever you need to do in your real estate needs, holler at my girl Rosalind Spencer with Keller Williams Realty, and she will definitely put you in the game. All her information is right there, and she will definitely put you in the right position to get the home of your dreams and a home that you want. And last but not least, my girl K Marie with K Marie Photography. If you want sensual photo shoot, black and white, wedding, alter ego, graduation, whatever it is, my girl K Marie can put you in the business. And once again, this is your boy, the Two Became, signing off, and this has been at EBH Productions. See y'all later.